Alright then gang, so GraphQL is now set up on the Strapi backend, right? And now it can handle incoming GraphQL queries. But we also need to set up our React application to be able to make those queries. And to do that, we need to install two packages. First of all, the Apollo client package, which helps us to manage and make queries in our React components. And also the GraphQL package itself, which is needed to parse GraphQL queries. So to do this, open up a terminal and type the following: npm install, and then we want to grab @apollo/clients. So that's the first package, then a space. The second one is GraphQL. So hit enter, and then this is going to install those two packages for us. Okay then, so now they're installed, the first thing we need to do is configure the Apollo client to connect to the Strapi GraphQL server. So at the top of the root app component right here, import a couple of things from the Apollo client library. We need three things in total. So first of all, we have the Apollo client, which is used to create a new connection to the GraphQL server. The in-memory cache is used by the Apollo client to cache responses from the server for us, and the Apollo provider is used to wrap our entire React application, and it provides it with the ability to use the Apollo client connection that we set up to make queries. So let's use the Apollo client first of all to make a new connection. So we'll create a new constant and give this a name. I'm going to call it clients, and then we set it equal to new. And then it's the Apollo client, which we import and we invoke it. So this generates a new client. It makes a new instance of the Apollo client and stores it in this constant. Now we also need to pass in some configuration into this. So create an object as an argument inside the parentheses. And the first property on this object is going to be a URI property. Now this is basically the entry point to the GraphQL server that Strapi is using, and that address is http://localhost, and it's port 1337/GraphQL. Okay, so that's the URI property. The next property is cache, and this tells Apollo what to use to cache our query responses. In our case, this will be the in-memory cache, which we already imported. So let's grab that and paste it in. Cool. So now we have this initial client connection to the GraphQL server. Next, we need to provide this to our application. Now we do that by using the Apollo provider component that we imported up here. So this is going to go inside the router, but it's going to surround everything else. So it's going to surround the div with the class of app. So let's just do that. Now, in older versions, placing the provider inside the router like this can cause problems, but the more modern versions don't cause this issue. If you do have problems, you can try surrounding the router component with the provider instead. Anyway, this now takes a prop called client, and then this prop as a value takes in the client that we made. So whatever you called your constant up here, pass that into the Apollo provider. And now we're basically providing that client connection to the GraphQL server, to our entire React application inside this component. So now in the future, we can make GraphQL queries to our Strapi backend from any of these components inside the app. And we'll see how to do that in the next lesson.